The next step in installing the E2 agent is to confirm that the app user is installed and also that it has the correct roles and permissions. So to do that, we're going to go back to Advanced Settings, and in Advanced Settings, we're going to do Security and Users. Now, we could go through that and see all the users, but there's a ton of them. So we change the view to application users because this is the type of user that E2 needs, and it should be created for you. If by chance you come in here and it's not created already, that is because the prerequisite for this of having one of the skill profiles is not been done. So check with the E2 configuration manual to set up a skill profile inside the Customer Dynamics portal. All right, so we're in here now and we see the user, the CDYX E2 Contact Center user. All right, and when we click on it, we can go in and see that it just has a few pieces of information that an application user has. So you don't need to fill out anything on here, and all this information gets automatically set in. So now we need to assign a role to it. Let's go in and look at roles. So we go back to security and go to security roles. And there should be a custom role down here, which is called the E2 Contact Center Service role. So if we go into that role, you can see that it has the different permissions pre-assigned to it. Let's wait for this one to come up. But this, inside this role, is where you assign or remove permissions. Now, basically, we've preset some permissions for all the standard integrations, but this can be edited. It is totally up to the client what permissions that you want to give it. However, if you take some permissions away, some of the integration will not work between E2 and Dynamics, or post-contact in Dynamics, or pre-processes in Dynamics. One thing I would like to point out is that the delete is never assigned on any permission. So you can go through and see it has permissions on the standards account, activities, contacts, leads, opportunities. And if you go through here, you can see marking list, that's for the outreach, quote, cases, user, and again, users only read and write. And this one is specifically to allow the one-time sign-on, which means that we need to store their agent ID in their user account. But service management doesn't have any. Customizations does have some, and again, there's business missing entities and business processes don't have any. We've already set up our custom entities as far as what we need, so there's no permissions under here. But if you wanted to give it permission to read or pop a custom entity, you'll need to go into this role and add the create or the read or the write. And if it's an entity that you want to have like a phone call appended to it or associated with it, append and append to needs to be also given. All right, so under this point, there's no changes that we need to make on this, but what we need to do is assign this role to our application user. So we go back into users, We're going to change it from enabled to application users again. And on here, on this one, we click manage roles, and it does not come with any preset roles. So what we want to do is find that custom one, which would be E2 Contact Center, and apply that. So at this point, you have all the permissions needed to do the standard integrations and almost anything that you can think of, except for custom entities. Custom entities, you'll need to edit the role.